In this video, I'm going to talk about writing the square root of a number in imaginary form. So imaginary form basically means you're going to use the imaginary unit I to stand for the square root of -1. So if this statement right here is true, then I squared equals the square root of -1 times the square root of -1. So let's talk about some stuff. Alright, for instance, let's say you've got a number like the square root of -3. Well, that just equals the square root of -1 times the square root of 3. So since I equals the square root of -1, you've got I times the square root of 3. Let's look at another example. Say for instance you have the square root of -36. Well, that just equals the square root of -1 times the square root of 36, which equals I times 6, or to rewrite it as 6I. And let's look at something a little more complicated. Let's say for instance we've got a number like the square root of -48. Again, that equals the square root of -1 times the square root of 48. And the square root of -1 is, that's right, I. And the square root of 48, think about how can you write this as a product of a perfect square? Well, 48 is 16 times 3, right? And 16 is 4 times 4. So that tells you that you're going to have I times the square root of 16 times the square root of 3, which is I times 4 times the square root of 3, or we're going to write it as 4I times the square root of 3. That's really all there is to it. Just remember that I equals the square root of -1, not I equals -1. This is not true. So again, I equals the square root of -1, and I squared equals -1.